What's up, everybody? It's your girl Megan, Show Up Fitness Instructor, and today I'm going to be going over how to design a program for an intermediate male client that's trying to grow his legs. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you watch our beginner program for the same client to get an idea of where you would start off with. Intermediate is going to be a little bit more challenging, but still not going to be advanced. Now, when it comes to programming, a lot of people get confused because there's so many different exercises that you can do. And so today I'm going to show you guys how it's simple by using our CCA template, the template that we teach you guys in our level 1 SUF-CPT internship course, which is both in person with myself in La Jolla, as well as up in Santa Monica, as well as our online course that occurs year-round, Monday to Friday, live and daily calls. So if you're a personal trainer or aspiring personal trainer out there and you're looking to improve your programming skills, make sure you sign up for our course, which right now we have a free 14-day trial. So following the CCA format, it's going to stand for core accessory. Core meaning our core movement patterns. We have 8 of them: horizontal push, horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull, squat, hinge, unilateral, and transitional. And then A being accessories. It could be anything that your client really wants to focus on, something that's not going to compromise the work that you're being done during this compound movements, during the core movement patterns that we just talked about. It could be cardio, abs, arms, little things here and there that you're just going to have as fillers, kind of rest time in between the next set. So for this individual that's looking to grow their legs and they're an intermediate client, this is how I program for them. I would start off with back squats going into chin-ups, then having a cable payoff. From there, the next circuit would be reverse lunges into Nordics, into a weighted plank. And then the last circuit would be Bulgarians into hip thrusts, into Copenhagen planks with a finisher. As long as there's time to permit it, we would do a wall sit, a weighted wall sit there. Now, going further into detail, as you guys will all know if you've already watched our videos, this is going to be dependent on the client, right? And so this is a template that I would use, but once I have the client in front of me, things may change from this. But with that being said, just a general idea, making sure, there's no injuries in the way, that they're relatively healthy. Because they are in this intermediate category, we've already established that they have a good foundation from that beginner status earlier. So that's why I started off with back squats instead of necessarily doing a goblet squat. Back squats here, I'd probably do something like a 10-8-6-6, getting into heavier lifts with a little bit less reps, more weight compared to like maybe the beginners when we're starting about 10, 12, 15 reps. Want to get a little bit lower here. Next up with the chin-ups, I would probably do about 3 sets of 5. Now, if the individual could do 5 reps clean, then I'd add some weight here, and I'd still look to get 5 reps with weight on that. And if I had to come in as a trainer and get involved, I would help assist them at the waist, help them up there. That's some trainer engagement. Even though it is a lower body workout, I still want to throw an upper body there, because as you guys will find, a lot of lower body movements are going to incorporate the same agonist muscles for every single movement. So especially for the first circuit, I want to make sure that I give a little bit break between the lower body exercises so they can last the entire workout here. The next circuit, I'm going to have reverse lunges. I'm going to do about 6 to 8 reps each side here. Now, I like to do these reverse lunges. I like to focus on one side, reset, and then go to the other side. Ideally here, I'm going to get into pretty heavy loads here, so about half body weight or more at least. And I would like to, if possible, use the barbell. But once again, that's going to be dependent on the client and that day, how they feel, what they're able to. After that, I'm going into Nordics. If you guys have never done Nordics before, it may look easy, but it's definitely not. And because the Nordics itself is an eccentric, the lengthening of the muscle tissue, it's going to create a lot of damage. And so even though he's not a beginner, it's still intermediate, he may be newer to Nordics, and any new exercise, especially the eccentric portion of it, will create a lot of damage. So I would say maybe around 3 sets of 3 to 6. If they've done it before, maybe a little bit more reps, 5 to 6 range. If they're kind of newer to it, then the 3 rep range, just because of the damage that does create. And the reason why you'll see this one after the reverse lunges is because when you look at the reverse lunges, it's going to be more emphasis on the glutes as well. You'll have the quads as well, but you're not going to see really much involvement with hamstrings. So when I have that next movement, it's not going to really compromise too much when I go back to those reverse lunges. And then after that, I have a weighted plank. Now, we should definitely have established a good foundation with planks if you're beginning clients. So now that you're intermediate, I do want to load it up just as I'm doing with my other exercises and challenge a little bit more. So then for the last circuit, I have Bulgarians, and now I've already established during his reverse lunges, and once again, he's intermediate, so probably way before in the beginning stages, that he has a good foundation balancing with unilateral exercises. So I feel safe with giving him Bulgarians at this stage where he can still load it up, and we're probably going to hit around 8 to 10 reps each side, which if you guys have never done Bulgarians, they're brutal. They're tough, right? I love them, and some people have a love-hate relationship with them, but they're very effective exercise. And so I have it at the end there. After the fact, I'm going to go into hip thrust. Here's when I want to hit the volume here. And so I'm going to start with 10 reps for the first one, then I'm going to go into 15, and then the last one's going to be AMRAP. And this is one where I can get involved here at the end too as a trainer. I have the 10 reps, the 15 reps. Maybe on the AMRAP ones, I'm going to incorporate some pauses. Maybe I'm telling them pause, then they're going to go drive against outside my hands. I can incorporate whatever I want at the end because this is kind of like the last round here, right? And so they have no more left in the tank. This is where I can get a little bit more creative on those compound movements. Now, the last exercise or accessory for this circuit is going to be a Copenhagen plank. And so, like I said earlier, making sure that because this is an intermediate client, we've already established that I have a good foundation with planks, but if your client cannot do a side plank, I definitely want to just put them into a Copenhagen plank. There's definitely some prerequisites that you want to make sure you hit there, but I would do a Copenhagen plank, and the reason for this is because they are trying to look at getting stronger legs. And so I decided to incorporate the Copenhagen plank because this plank specifically is going to target one muscle group that is a synergist for the squat pattern, and that's going to be your adductors. They're known as like that inner thigh muscle, like the groin area. It's a very neglected group that people forget to train, and so that's why I also want to incorporate these, but I also place it at the end because it is a synergist once again for that movement. I didn't want to necessarily do it for the first circuit. And so let's say after all of this, we still have time. I would like to do a wall sit with the plate. And so I would have the client with a 45-pound plate on their lap, and they would just be doing a wall sit. Now, we've done this with interns in class. I've done this with my other clients as well. If it's too easy, I can bump it up. Maybe I add a plate every minute. Maybe I do some challenges, some games, so they're holding the plate and I'm throwing a ball back and forth with them. Let's say the plate is too much, right? That's ideally what I want to do, but let's maybe just start with 25 pounds, right? Maybe they're holding instead, they have a goblet, and so they're working their arms while they're doing the wall sit. Maybe they're doing some calf raises during the wall sit. I could do whatever I want at the end here. It is the last round for a burner. But like I mentioned earlier too, let's say the Bulgarians really tax their client and they're super like dead tired. Maybe I'll just end with a couple goblet squats at the end. Everything they got, just one round. So this was just a quick overview of how I would program for an intermediate guy client that's trying to grow his legs. Once again, make sure to watch out and be on the lookout for our beginning client program as well as our advanced program to see how you could progress this program. And once again, as always, here at Show Up Fitness, where great personal trainers are made. During our SUF-CPT course, in person and online, we're going to teach you the fundamentals when it comes to programming, anatomy, so you feel confident to design programs in less than 5 minutes, to think on the fly, apply critical thinking. As you guys know, not every one person should be doing the same exact workout. There might be similar workouts, but there's going to be tweaks based off their goals, their fitness status, all these different things, right? But also things might occur like injuries, sleep deprived, not feeling it, not motivated, right? And so there's a lot of different factors that might change your workout. So you might have the best workout, they might come in here the next day and they're not ready and they're not prepared for it. And I feel comfortable being able to have this template and tweak it to fit my client so it's both safe and optimal for them without freaking out and not knowing what to do next. And so that's the great thing about our internship course. Like I said earlier, in person with myself in La Jolla, as well as up in Santa Monica. Online, we have the free 14-day trial, which you can find in the link below. And of course, we also have occurring every other month or so weekend seminars. Next one is May 18th, 19th up in Sacramento. If you'd like to see myself or other instructors network with one another and gain that hands-on experience, make sure you reach out to us to find out how you can sign up for that. And if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe so you not miss out on any new content that we have coming your way. And remember, if you want to become a great, successful personal trainer, all you got to do is show up.